Friends, something is going on in the Tyler Robinson case that, well, I've never seen anything like this before. And we've already said that several times in this case.
Yeah.
So, Tyler Robinson, of course, is charged with the murder of Charlie Kirk. This is a Utah state case. But then, this guy, Joe Kent, has
Oh,
made some
good Lord.
statements that I'm just going to share them with you. Let's just talk about it. So, Joe Kent is the former National Counterterrorism Center director.
Okay.
He just recently resigned in protest to the war in Iran.
Okay.
And he's now doing some talking about some stuff that he didn't feel like he could talk about before. He says that he was blocked from further investigating the death of Charlie Kirk from
Ooh.
a counterterrorism standpoint. So we know Kirk was shot and killed at Utah Valley University on September 10th of 2025. He was there doing a campus event, and the suspect is Tyler Robinson, 22, who
Yep.
has been charged with his murder. Tyler is from Utah.
Hmm.
We've talked about this. We've been streaming the hearings, like, nothing too, some unusual things about this case, but nothing too unusual. But here are some things that Joe Kent is now saying. The investigation I was part of, the National Counterterrorism Center was a part of, we were stopped from continuing to investigate. He said that the FBI wanted to turn everything over to the Utah state authorities. He also said the FBI concluded that Kirk was killed by a lone gunman. We've been told that this individual, Robinson, was a lone gunman, and maybe he is, but there was still a lot for us to look into that I can't really get into, Kent said. But there was still linkage for us to investigate that we needed to run down. I'm not making any conclusions.
Holy
Now,
cow.
he's not saying that one way or the other that Tyler Robinson is guilty or not guilty, but what he is saying is that there was evidence of potentially foreign actors. Um, and
Hmm.
there were the investigation into those things was stopped.
Wow.
Yeah. Kent has now come out and said that he would testify on the behalf of Tyler Robinson's defense
Oh,
if
oh,
they want him to.
oh, they've got him on speed dial. Holy shit.
Right? Have they? I mean, I don't know. First of all, these are just allegations. We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
He would have to come up with some pretty specific information,
Mm-hmm.
I think, for him to just say things like this. This is just not evidence. But if he were to,
But if
I
he's
don't
holding
know,
evidence back in the statement that he's making.
right, which it does appear that he is, that there
Mm-hmm.
may have been evidence of involvement from foreign actors and that this potentially could have had a terrorism link.
Mm-hmm. Holy
There's been
moly.
so much interference in this case already,
Yeah.
clear up to the White House.
Right.
And now we have this muddying the waters.
Holy cow.
I don't know. Nobody's saying shit about this. The
Sure.
defense is not saying shit. The prosecution, no one is saying anything. But I would imagine that there is some looking into this
Mm-hmm.
situation because what the hell? Is
Yeah.
this true? Were there parts of this investigation that were stopped
Right.
when the state caught up with Tyler Robinson? And if so, why?
Mm-hmm.
And were any of those leads viable? I don't know, man. I don't know. I have never seen anything like this before.
No. Wow.
But I think this could have an impact on that case.
Well, yeah, it most
If
definitely
nothing
could.
else, it can contribute to reasonable doubt.
Definitely.
And
I
are
mean, if he
there,
were to really take the stand, I mean, come on, you can't get a more credible, in my opinion, witness than
I mean,
an
he was certainly
investigator.
on the inside and in the know,
Yeah.
and he's saying
Whew.
that his investigation was stopped.
Mm-hmm.
So
Wowza.
I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if this will have any actual impact or if this is just rhetoric. It's very hard to know at this point, but it is not often
Yeah.
that you see somebody at that high level of government
Make a
coming
statement.
out
Yeah.
basically alleging that there have been things that have gone not investigated in a murder.
Wow. I mean,
Now,
that's
there are a lot of conspiracy theories about what that information may be. I'm not going to get into that because I don't know.
no, but I mean,
There
think of
are,
the amount of trials we have watched where the defense try very hard to poke holes in the investigation and how shoddy it was
mhm,
and all the things they didn't do. I mean, this is a defense attorney's wet dream.
I would think it probably is if he can back it up. I mean, if there is actual evidence
Yeah.
of foreign actors of some sort that may have been involved that was never investigated, I don't
Right.
know. Right, Joelle? Joelle says, normally I would brush this off, but these days anything is possible. See, me too. Most of
Yeah.
the time I'd be like, yeah, whatever, that's just people flapping their gums. But
Yeah.
in the world we're living in, I think we got to keep an eye on this.
Definitely. Yeah.
So we'll see if
Sweet
he.
Relief says, can Nestor get the investigator from the Richens trial? Well, she should. It would be case closed,
I
ma'am.
mean, he was dogged. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we just got to keep an eye on this and see if he can
Can or
show up with
does.
actual evidence. That's the thing.
Right.
Just these statements alone are not enough.
No,
But
definitely
it's
no.
pretty interesting that this is one of the things he comes right out with
Mm-hmm.
after stepping down from his position. After saying he cannot, in good conscience, continue in his job with
Mm-hmm.
the military action happening in Iran.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
very, very
Well,
interesting.
yeah, extremely interesting. And it makes me think about all of the cases that we have covered where there's been acts of domestic terrorism by young men here in the
Right.
US
Yeah.
who were involved in Discord and other places where they were being influenced by foreign actors, being put up to
Right.
things, being taught how to make bombs, being given all of this information.
Right.
I
Being
mean,
radicalized.
right, is it possible that both things are true in this case?
Right.
That Tyler
Is it
Robinson
possible that
did
both
pull
things
the
are true?
trigger, but that he had the backing and the influence of a foreign actor? Just asking.
Right.
I mean, he had all of that weird Groiper stuff.
Right. Yeah. So there was some evidence of online involvement in some kind
Online
of extremism.
indoctrination. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wowza.
So,
Well, I mean, just from whether whatever standpoint you want to look at this from, it is very interesting because how would something like this affect a trial,
right. How is this going to affect a trial, a state trial? And
if at
that's the other
all?
part of this is that he was part of the federal government. This is a
Mm-hmm.
state case.
Right.
Um, I find it interesting. There's a lot of misinformation about the Tyler Robinson case in general online. And one
Uh
of
huh.
those things is that it is a federal case. It is not
No.
a federal case. It is a state case.
Mm-hmm.
But the FBI got involved almost immediately and did do a modicum of investigation,
Mm-hmm.
and some things came up, but then it was almost immediately turned back to the state.
Yeah.
So the other part of that is, what is the responsibility of federal investigators, the Department of Justice, the FBI, if the case remains a state case?
Right.
I don't know. I we're gonna see. We're gonna see. But I wanted to bring your attention to this because this is a
That's
credible person. This is a
very
credible
credible, yeah.
source. This isn't just a conspiracy theory gone wild the way many things around the murder of Charlie Kirk have been. This guy would actually know.
Right.
So
Wow.
anyway, we're going to keep a close
Fascinating.
eye on what's
Yeah.
going on there.